Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
BallChat.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. I am Benton. It's another Sunday. Today is April 12th. Year 2026. I am Benton along with the man himself, George. Wagwan family. How you stay?
Well, I'm good and I'm good. I'm here sharing this thing around because I need the Arsenal fans them to turn up and let us know what the hell is going on.
Manchester United takes on. Will play Leeds tomorrow. You're not inviting the Manchester United fans over.
No? For what?
Junior, we need subscribers. So the more subscribers and people forward, any fans, send them on.
Fair enough.
All right. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. Big up to those on the live. Smash the like button, rock on, come in. Enjoy, hopefully enjoying your Sunday wherever you're joining us from. All right, today is Today's a jam-packed show as usual. EPL recap at the top of the show. Then we're going to segue to the preview Champions League. Recap and preview Champions League games coming up this week. Big games in the Champions League. Most notably, looking forward to that Atletico Madrid versus FC Barca game. Then Yard Ballers will discuss Jamaican football report. I wonder if Junior have anything to say, has anything to say regarding the Reggae Girls after the game against Antigua Barbuda. We'll get his thoughts and the football family thoughts on that game. We'll also look at Jamaican Premier League as a mouth-watering matchup is getting ready to kick off. Chapelton, the Phoenix versus, what kind of fall over Cavalier? What kind of bird over Cavalier?
I don't know, but is it really mouth-watering?
Should be a mouth-watering matchup. Bullhead versus Speed. You need to get that nickname for Speed, Also, regarding Jamaican report, the Robert Bailey of Jamaica Gleaner reporting that a decision has been made regarding the next coach of the Reggae Boys, and we'll discuss that and take a look at that article. All right, with no further ado, let's get to the English Premier League and kick it off with Man City versus Chelsea. Game ended 3-0 for Man City Junior. We did a watch along. After that watch along, I guess you had further thoughts on. Took some time to assess your final assessment of that game, family.
It could have been so much worse. That's my final assessment of the game. Chelsea, again, it was a tale of two halves. First half, they were fairly even. Both teams created somewhat of a chance, and then halftime happened and second half occurred, and Man City took off from that. That's the best way I can describe it. I was expecting more of a fight from Chelsea, though, to be honest, and for that I'm very disappointed. But it is what it is.
Just going through some of the comments from the post-match press conferences. Pep Guardiola says, quote, first half was not bad, especially on the right side. We had no movement and don't attack space. Second half, we made a fantastic 3 goals. He says, in terms of the Arsenal game, of course, we'll discuss Arsenal in a second. He says it's important because we are 6 points behind them, and if they beat us, it's over. If we draw, it's also over. That's his assessment of the game. He says that he felt like his team was outstanding in the second half. He had a lot of accolades, for a man called Nick O'Reilly, who got on the goal scoring sheet today for Man City.
Yeah. And the last time Pep said something like this, Man City laid that egg, remember? You remember Pep said something like they can't lose any more games. I don't remember who they were playing against, but it was
yeah.
It was so, and then when the reporter asked him like, "Yo, so is it over?" And that's when he said, "Oh, if it's not over until the last half or something like that. But he had to retract his statement, which I find it odd that he came out and said this again. I mean, it's kind of obvious, and he doesn't really need to state the obvious, but it maybe this is just his way of motivating, and he's going to stick to his ways, regardless of whether it had failed before in the very near past with the
Yeah.
same group of players. But I find it odd that he said that. I really do.
I know. I mean, I think at the end of the day, and it shouldn't take much for these two teams or these two groups of players to rally up and get ready for that game. And we'll discuss Arsenal, groups of players in Arsenal and Man City. A big game. Whosoever wins that game, I mean, especially for Arsenal, if you can take a point or take those 3 points, you can just end this conversation, this long talking about Premier League title for the rest of the season by just crushing, just taking something out of that
I don't
Man
think
City
so.
game. I think from a Pep Guardiola standpoint, some of it might be mind games, but I genuinely think he's trying to keep his troops level-headed going into the game because the season has been inconsistent at best, and that's to put it mildly. He says regarding the champion, he says, "Quote: We have a long week to recover. It's a pity we could not be better in the Champions League. The Premier League is about how you grow as a team. The team feels fresh. Everyone is there. We have 6 games left on a FA Cup semi-final. It doesn't look like much, but it's a lot. Many things going to happen." I found it strange that he said it's a pity that we're not in the Champions League. You don't want to be in the Champions League if I am Man City right now. You want to have as much rest time getting ready for this game against Arsenal on Sunday.
I don't think so.
Yeah?
I don't think so. I don't think. I think there's a fine balance. I think there's a balance there. Now, if they are being overplayed, then sure, definitely, you want this week off, right? But I think Pep's, and I might be overreaching here, but I think Pep's thought process is Arsenal is such a big game. We just played a big game. It would have been nice to have another game where we can try out some other tactics before the Arsenal game. That's the vibe I'm getting from him. Plus, players like continuity and consistency. It's not necessarily that they're overplaying, but Arsenal might come into this game next week not fresher but sharper because they would have just played against Sporting in a tough game. So he might be referencing that as well, where his Man City team is now going to go a whole week hearing from fans that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Arsenal is ready to battle the league, blah, 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 and then just turn up. So maybe there is something to 3 days of rest is enough, or 4 days of rest is enough. 7 days might be a little bit, or 6 days might be a little bit too much. There might be something to that. There might be something to that.
Okay. Um, you know, yeah, there might be something about continuing, but I just think at this stage of the season, so many games I've played, you're in the business part of the season. Ultimately, games at this stage of the season, you want to win football games. And so with the Champions League, being late in the Champions League tournament, in the Champions League round, you have to focus on that game. I think I personally would prefer just one game to lock in for. He mentioned block out the noise and just focus on practice and keep prepping for that game and just go all in. But yeah, there could be something to it about keeping your feet, keeping playing 3 days so you don't have to focus on the other game.
Right.
But a player that I want to shout, and by the way, big up to those on the live. Make sure to smash the like button. Remember to subscribe to the channel, BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. Ryan Cherokee, we make fun of Ryan Cherokee. I request him some of his decisions during Man City's watch along today, and I had to go back and look at the stat, and there's something that I have to big him up for and give him a ball off the week. By the way, those of you who are new to Ball Chat Weekly, you can send on players, ballers, players you want to celebrate So if you want to send on a baller, send on a baller. You know, the original BallChat fans will know this format. So if you have a baller, send them on a player that you want to highlight. And yeah, if you have a player you want to cuss out, send it on also. As a bug. So Ryan Cherokee Jr. I know people start while looking up, doing a bit of reading. It says with two more today, Ryan Cherokee became the first player to register 10 plus assists in their debut Premier League season since Payet in 2015. Dimitri Payet, what a baller, what a player. Dimitri Payet was an absolute outstanding footballer. So when I read this stat, I have to take a step back and gauge my criticism of Ryan Cherokee because he's been productive. I mean, 10 plus stat in his initial season. This is what you want from your number 10 and more. Now, you know, we can question the gimmicks all we want, but he's been delivering for this club. And delivered 2 more today.
Yeah, well, I won't. You see, just like how, and I'm just going to be honest, just like how people, because the Germans, they always tease me about Bruno because I don't think Bruno Fernandes is world class. And no, I don't care what the stats say. My eyes tell me what my eyes see. So I use the eyeball test for Ryan Cherokee. Cherokee, yes, he has good stats, but does it translate to Man City being better? That's arguable, because the person he's replacing made Man City 20 times better. So, whatever. But
I know who's
he's a
that person.
baller, Kevin De Bruyne.
All right, so let's squeeze on this debate a little bit because we probably peel this layer onion a little bit. What was Kevin De Bruyne first season like at Man City? Because it's fair to compare Ryan Cherokee to
worse to
first
Ryan
season to De Bruyne at his highest at Man City.
It is what it is until Ryan Cherokee give me something higher than he can give right now. This is his highest.
Okay.
So if next year he performs better, then we will compare next year's Ryan Cherokee to Kevin De Bruyne. If 2 years from now he performs even better, then we'll compare that to Kevin De Bruyne. But right now, this is all we have to compare him against. And Dimitri Payet actually is a good call, even though that's what the numbers say. But you can say he's a baller. He did not recognize his full potential. Okay, if you remember, he left Aston Villa.
He left West Ham.
West Ham. He left West Ham and went back to France, and basically that was it.
I mean, he did excel in the French league. So, all right, what did you expect from Dimitri Payet? What was your expectation with the level of talent that Dimitri had?
I don't have any expectations of Dimitri Payet. I think Dimitri Payet produced what he could. However, we're talking about the stats and what this is how stats can be misleading. It's not misleading because the production is the production.
Okay.
But this is how stats can skew people's perception of a player. And that is what I am trying to stay away from. Based on those statistics, right? Ryan Cherokee, who is French, supposed to be world class, supposed to be a world beater, and he will not sniff the French national team starting 11 in the World Cup. So we have to be careful with the stats. The eyeball test.
I really got down this Ryan Cherokee debate, but I'm pushing you on this one.
Go ahead,
he will not sniff the starting 11 of this French team in the World Cup.
Yes, I said it. Well, who you going to start him over, sir? Who you going to start him over?
So tell me who starts over Ryan Cherokee then? In that 10.
Elise.
Okay, so you could put Elise on the right wing.
Okay, so Griezmann will start over him.
Our footballer that brother. Orlando baller. I mean, he's part of the French squad. He's part the antics with Ryan Cherokee. Maybe Didier Deschamps has a higher standard. If you can start in a Pep Guardiola team, maybe you can cut it in the French team. I saw him did play in the last friendly for the French team.
That was the second string team against Colombia.
Yeah, that was the second string team against Colombia.
And that was the team he
I was
played
just
on.
about to say that. It was the second string team against Colombia. But then Ryan
So
Cherokee
you're
has
talking
to
about-
make his case for a starting position.
All right. So listen.
Yeah.
You have Olise, Dembele, and Mbappe.
Yep.
Give me one of them. You're going to put Ryan Cherokee over. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, listen, aren't those three players essentially, Mbappe is the top tier, high level baller, right? You have Olise, who's growing up and evolving into a player. And you have Ousmane Dembele, who's quite inconsistent at times. He's a kick and run it down baller. Now, what I'm
Dembele is
saying
the
is
Ballon
that
d'Or winner.
Ryan Cherokee can slide into a number 10 role in that French team. I agree that Michael, like Olise, can play that role. But also Olise can play right wing too.
You're wicked to yourself. Oh, okay, sir. Go ahead. It's all right.
Olise can play right wing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. You have Marcus Thuram. Etiquette
as a
started
forward,
that game.
as another forward.
But Etiquette started that game, but he's a forward as well.
Yeah.
You have well, that's really it.
BM,
Oh, wait.
Big up BM. I mean, Ryan Cherokee probably gives you something quite unique out of all of those that you mentioned. Keeping up with the antics also. Because he's probably maybe the better of those passers of the group. No, you have to deal with the bag of crap that comes with it. No, you hold in your head. All right. So, Ousmane Dembele is a better passer than Ryan Cherokee?
Yes.
Really? He's
Yes.
a number 10 for a reason. He's a creative player for a reason. And you're telling me a winger is a better passer than him?
Yes.
What are you doing? You know what? You need to stop smoke. Drink mad puss around that. Put mad puss around.
All right.
Ousmane Dembele is a winger by trade, a winger who runs on the side, cut inside. You need somebody in that number 10 role who can deliver the passes. The problem with Ryan Cherokee is that he end up trying to look for nutmeg. He's nonchalant at times, and he's trying to juggle and do comedic sort of theatrics with the ball game. But those players that you mentioned in that French team, it's kind of almost similar sort of mode with those players. Fast, can score goals. All of them will score goals. But which of those players is going to truly be said, I'm going to be a passer for the next person? None of those players. Olise will do it to an extent, but Olise will cut in and try to score for himself.
Yeah, sure. But there is nobody in that French front three that I just called that you will never see Ryan Cherokee starting over a healthy Dembele, Killy, and Olise. You're not seeing it. You will not see it anywhere. You will question the Deschamps starting Cherokee over and have any of those players sitting on the bench, sitting down healthy. You will question the Deschamps.
I won't question him. If Cherokee plays and delivers, then yes, it's great for them. Because again, I want to highlight the thing is that if he's giving you the level of assist, because you at some point, Junior, can we both agree that you're going to need a player who's going to say, okay, I'm going to deliver the passes to the group. Can we agree on that?
I mean, yes, yeah, we can agree on that.
Now, taking that a step further, out of all the players that you highlighted, Ousmane Dembele, Kylian Mbappe, Michael Olise, Marcus Thuram, which of those players
Marcus Thuram.
Which of those players, here's the question, which of those players will ultimately defer scoring a goal than passing, than passing, defer taking a shot than passing? Which of those players, if any?
No, okay.
Because that is what you need from a Ryan Cherokee, is making the passes to the players in a better position. Which of those players will?
Man, I cannot believe you're even trying to argue this point.
I can't believe that you think that Ryan Cherokee cannot start in this French team.
He hasn't started in this French team. He has no chance of starting in this French team. A fully healthy French roster, there is no team in the world that Ryan Cherokee will offer an advantage to. And we will say this is advantageous over starting player X.
You're getting too far now. No team in the world.
There is not a team in the world that France will play against that we will say, I can see the reasoning why Cherokee started over Dembele or Olise or Kylian Mbappe.
All right.
None.
Okay.
None.
We'll leave that one alone. We'll leave that one alone. You know. We'll see how this plays out. We will see how this plays out. But over to the Chelsea side of things, Junior. Liam Rossinia says that did take some of the blame regarding the loss. He said that basically the second half was just bad. Not good enough in the second half. We didn't start well. Had moments to clear the box and keep the ball, but we didn't. They were camped in our half for the first 5 minutes, and then we conceded a goal. Liam Rossinia was asked, he was pretty honest in his press conference, post-match press conference, I thought. He says he's got to work on building resilience in this group. I guess he's been saying that for a while. Chelsea have lost back-to-back Premier League games at home for the first time since 2023 under Mauricio Pochettino. They're in a bad run of form in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah, and isn't it ironic? It sounds like he's saying they need to gain some experience. Doesn't that sound familiar? I mean,
what are you saying? He needs experienced players?
Yeah, whether they grow experience or he transfers in the experienced players, but it's on him for them to become more resilient, aka experienced. They have to go through this fire to become stronger. It's just unfortunate that they have to go through it together. So there's nobody on the field that can help pull them up. And we saw that today. And you know, the thing that went unnoticed today was there's an old saying that when you're playing central defensive midfielder, when you're a central defensive midfielder, you don't want your name to be called out a lot. Because that means that you're sticking out like a sore thumb, meaning not doing something well, right? But we kind of debated about Ryan Cherokee. And the reason why we had the debate about Ryan Cherokee is because Calcedo failed at his job today. And Calcedo failed miserably at his job. Now, Andre Santos also failed miserably at his job. But I want to point out Calcedo because the whole cow don't know the use of him tail till him lose it acronym kind of comes in right now. Because at times, when it was the Calcedo and the Enzo Fernandez show, we were like, why them spend so much money? That money could have invested elsewhere. Calcedo has proven that he can do it by himself. He cannot. He cannot. And we saw that today. Chelsea was constantly overrun in the midfield. We saw Rodri. And we were talking about how Rodri is always... I was talking about how Rodri is always around the ball. When Doku doing choppiness, Rodri is there to clean up for it. I can argue that Cherokee get the opportunity to beat Cherokee because Rodri exists, while we saw Cole Palmer having to run back to cover Nico O'Reilly at one point, which was kind of a precursor or like a warning or foresight or whatever you want to call it, a premonition to the goal. So Calcedo failed today. He failed today. And I think the whole of Chelsea looked so bad that Calcedo never really like we never get to call out Calcedo like we should have.
Yeah, it was not a good day at the office for Moises. Moises Caicedo. I mean, we a lot will be said about the turnover against Doku.
Yeah, that led to the Doku
You
goal.
know, but I do agree that Sanchez didn't give Caicedo a lot of options there receiving the ball right there. But Caicedo could have at least also played it back, if I remember clearly, and just have somebody else make a better decision. But he took it
Yeah.
up on himself to try to handle the pressure and then failed. And yeah, I agree. As a holding midfield, as a man or woman in that hole, you have to be able to. It's not a good thing when your name is getting called. You know what I mean? Unless you're N'Golo Kante, your name only get called for great things. So, Moises Caicedo and Chelsea. Just, I mean, what can Rossinia do from here in to fix Chelsea's problems?
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the coach is time.
If anything.
You time. You just need time. You need an off season because right now Chelsea, a new coach come in. I don't care about they have training time during the week. They don't have enough training time for them to implement a system. So you have to do patchwork and you have to grow as you go. You have to hope that any steps forward that you make, you don't make 2-3 steps backwards, and then you have to find yourself for the next week trying to make up for the 2 steps that you lost so you can get that. It's too much. It's too much. We're living in a microwave society for football, which is
I've
unfortunate.
heard that one before.
And I've been saying it for years, and I'm going to keep saying it. Coaches need time. They need time.
How much time, brethren?
They need at least. All right. It depends on how good of a coach you are. It depends on how much or how close your squad is to what your idea is.
Are you willing to give Rudolph Speed time?
What?
You
We're
said
talking about coaches.
You said coaches need
No, hold
time.
on. We're talking about coaches. We're talking about coaches. We're talking about qualified coaches.
Oh, lawsuit loaded.
I don't give a. I'm in America, man. Lawsuit who? The letter won't even reach me. Anyway. So I think, and this is where coaches, we heard famously, Luis Enrique almost became the Chelsea manager. And if you remember before going to PSG, he wanted the Chelsea job, right?
Yeah.
Today he went to Chelsea with a PowerPoint presentation saying, here is where Chelsea is, and here is where I envision Chelsea to be. And this is the steps that we will take to get there. However long that is a project. So I think when you hire a coach, the coaches need to come in instead of saying, I have a magic wand that I can turn this team into world beaters overnight. Here is where you are. Here's where you can be under me, and this is how long it will take. And look, some teams it might take 3 transfer windows, some teams it might take 1. Some teams it might take a summer. Some teams it might take 5 years. But if you just be honest with the board and make the board make a conscious decision. I am signing on with this guy because I know it's for 4 years, 5 years. I will good. I will move towards it. But no, we have to make money right now. We have to do a splash signing and we need instant return. It doesn't work like that. It never worked like that.
Junior, when you brought up PowerPoint, you know who came to mind? The former Falcons manager, Jim Moore.
Oh.
So anytime, and for non-NFL fans, I think Jim Moore Jr.
Jim Moore Jr. Yeah, Jim Moore Jr.
Yes, not. Oh wait, a junior.
the senior is the one that said playoffs.
Yes, and
Playoffs?
Junior was a bug coach. Was an absolute bug. BM says, why is Benton provoking Junior? Rudolph Speed.
Hey, BM, you know what bad one got you made for a while ago?
Rudolph Speed at PE. Yeah, man, almost. BM, a lawsuit I got reach. Man said, Rudolph Speed is a PE coach. Yeah, Rudolph Speed wouldn't get to even a US team anywhere in Europe. We'll discuss Rudolph Speed later. Continue EPL roundup, family. All right, let's step over to the positive weekend for Man City. Not so positive for Arsenal. Junior, you did reach out to the Arsenal fans. Did they join in? And if they did they say anything to you?
No. They've been I think they have been contemplating life and life decisions and changes, and I think they've been looking forward to summer sports and summer activities and saying outside is such a beautiful day. They can step outside and put toes on grass. I think that's what the Arsenal fans have been doing recently. Ironic. I said Pep Guardiola today said the same thing that he said weeks back before Man City laid an egg, right?
Yeah.
You heard what Arteta said leading up to the game yesterday, right?
Yeah, bring your dinner.
Bring your lunch, bring your dinner, bring your lunch pail. We're ready to work.
But why not? Why not, Junior? Rally the fans. Rally the fans. Why not? Mikel Arteta rallying the fans. They did bring their lunch. And they did bring
And got
their
it
dinner.
stolen. They brought their lunch and got it took. I mean, come on, man. Listen. And I was thinking about it today. I was thinking about it. And I said, all of these years for Arteta, this is who Arteta is, right? This is him as a coach. That's his personality. That's him. There was a famous interview of Cesc Fabregas talking about his Como team and talking about his coaching philosophy, right?
Yeah.
And what was celebrated was how much he took from, I think, Wenger. He took from his roots in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Took from Wenger. Took from Pep, I believe.
Was that the interview on Paramount Plus with
Yes.
with Kate? Kate.
Yeah,
Big
with
up
Kate
Kate Abdo. Big up yourself.
Yeah.
Kate.
So-
Kate did some great work. Some good
And
work.
she's up
over
for
there.
another Emmy. So big up to Kate. Big up to
Big
Kate.
up Kate. Yeah, man. Big up Kate.
So
And big up to the Jamaican. While we're bigging up lady journalist Alexis Junior, your favorite.
you don't know Alexis is my favorite already, and we'll have some jokes.
What is her last name again?
Alexis Nunes, right?
Yeah, Nunes, Alexis. No, Alexis.
So big up Alexis and Alexis. We see what's going on. We see what's going on. And yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
Alexis Nunes, half Jamaican, half Guatemalan, I think.
It's half of ourselves right now. But anyway.
All right, back to Mikel Arteta.
Ozempic. So Mikel Arteta, he chronicled how different coaching experiences and different coaches that he has been around helped him
Cesc
mold.
Fabregas.
Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah, see, Alexis got you off all over the place.
He got me all over the place, Alexis. And I prefer the older Alexis, but I'll deal with the new one too. Anyway, we need to check Alexis and see if she eats some bun and cheese, because yeah, anyway.
What?
So-
Now BM running, Alexis is my future wife.
After, well, BM, that's as long as you don't make she give me bond with you, because anyway.
By the way, wasn't there a reggae girl that BM said was gonna propose to? Wasn't that midfielder? Yeah, that
BM.
midfielder that is now retired. Yeah, BM will remind us.
BM.
Continue on about football.
Actually, you're
let's
right.
keep focusing on the football show.
You know you're right. Come on, Bridget.
Yeah, man. There was a reggae girl that BM I got.
Yeah,
Yo,
but so I was thinking, Cesc Fabregas was so celebrated when people talked about, oh, he takes his ideology from so many different coaches and blah 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 blah. And then I start thinking to myself, that's the positive side. But are there also negatives that come with it? Are there negatives that come with a player turning a coach and taking from different coaches and taking his own personality and putting things together? And I think Arteta suffers from that.
okay.
I think Arteta is taking what Pep teaches and is trying to do it without having a shiny gem in the crown. And what I mean by that is Pep Guardiola's successful teams always have a gem in the crown that you point to. Always. Every team that Pep has successful, you say, here is his baller. We all know Messi. But here is his baller. This is the person that he hitches his wagon to. I think Arteta is taking Pep's philosophy and is trying to mold himself, his own personality, his own football character into Pep's coaching style. Where we know Arteta, one thing I would say this about Arteta. He's very selfless as a player. If you remember Arteta as a player,
Yeah, man, a
he could play in the
baller,
midfield.
man.
Eh?
I would call him a blue collar baller.
Exactly, and
Gave his all.
he's like a Gilberto Silva.
Yeah, man, him gave his all on the pitch, man.
But he doesn't care about accolades, doesn't care about celebration, doesn't care about anything like that. That is Arteta, the coach that we have right now, because Arsenal is being built that way. Arsenal is being built that we are all for one, one for all, and they cannot win like that right now. And that's why they get caught off like this, because they don't have a gem that they can point to. And Arteta doesn't coach that way. He doesn't develop that way. You tell all the fan base, bring your lunch, bring it this, bring it that. That should signal, well, for me, that signal to me, rotted, Arsenal coming out with guns blazing. And look at the team that he started and look at the players that he had on the bench. And then look at the changes that he made. The game is now 1-1. The game is now tied. You're chasing the win. Right? But you put on old boy and you take off Martinelli. Granted, you put on Ezzy, but then you put on the 16-year-old.
Yeah, Dauman. Put on Dauman and Leandro Trossard.
And Trossard, and you have to sit down there and say, yo, you really think you're going to get the win? Because we did the watch along, and I said, yo, Arsenal actually got worse with the substitution. And that is how Arteta was as a player. It's the same exact thing. And you know which coach him pulled that from, Benton. It just hit me like a ton of bricks.
Okay, what hit you, Junior?
David freaking Moyes at Everton,
mercy.
when he was at Everton.
Mercy. By the way, big up to BM. BM rightfully pointed out that Alexis Nunes is half Jamaican and half Salvadoran.
Yeah.
Not Guatemalan. I said Guatemalan. By the way, so BM, go around the reggae girl that you were gonna future marry. So I noticed.
Yeah, he has moved on, sir.
He's moved on. Miguel Arteta says, quote, when I ask about pressure, there's a lot in the press about pressure on this Arsenal football team. He says, quote, I don't think there is pressure. We have been coping with a lot of pressure since the beginning of the season. Today, there were some actions that are very far from the level that we've shown, and that shocks the system. We asked a lot from our crowd, and today we didn't respond to those standards, and we have to apologize, take it on the chin, and move on. End quote. The game itself. Yo, first and foremost, with the camera there. Gunners fans, Arsenal fans, relax. Relax. I know saying someone are nervous and worry about the title race. But Arsenal Football Club, the Gunners still have this trophy in their hands. Go to the Etihad next Sunday and take something from that football game. Don't worry about coaching style. Don't worry about what Mikel Arteta is trying to become, what happened yesterday. Focus on the game ahead. All right, now granted you have a game against Sporting in the middle of the week. You're going to have to juggle some things there. But bottom line is that if you go to the Etihad and take a point next Sunday, at least a point, you have the Premier League wrapped up. It's been 22 years and counting for Gunners fans. Mikel Arteta has been close before. Manchester United was the last team. Junior, you can correct this, right? Was the last team to have such a lead, a large margin of a lead. 2011, 2012, Man United, I think, led by 8 points at week 32 and dropped the soap. Man City won. At week 32, Arsenal, you're leading by 9 points. You cannot drop the soap. Go to the Etihad, because it's be another record. Go to the Etihad and win and take something from this game. You have the people. Now, granted, I understand that Saka is out and Martin Odegaard is out, but this is why you signed Eberechi Eze. If you cannot depend on your big ballers now that you have invested heavily, then why do you even have them?
That's a good question.
Nottingham Forest went to the Etihad and drew with Man City 2-2. Nottingham Forest was they're still fighting for their lives. With the level of zeal and tenacity, it's the same thing Arsenal need to go to the Etihad. West Ham took a point off Manchester City at home, 1-1. Same sort of intensity, same sort of fight and grit, because those two teams are fighting for survival. Arsenal fans, if the team cannot find something next week at the Etihad, you need for Sean to buckle them. Simple. That means you have the wrong people. If the Gunners lose this Premier League title, you have the wrong people. Not only you have the wrong coach, you have the wrong players. Mikel Arteta doesn't need any magic wand, any markers, any tactics right now. This is a business end of the season. As a competitor, this is what you riled up. This is wakes you up in the morning. Go forth and execute. Put all the things on the table and tell Man City, you're going to have to beat us.
Well said. Hopefully Mikel Arteta use this shot that I'm going to cut out and put out there. Hopefully he plays this for his troops. I don't matter with a light bulb thing. You know what make it worse? This week they did this football thing where you have 4 players and they put the ball up on the forehead, and the 4 players have to hold the ball and align the ball on the forehead, and they have some pencil and push. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Look, I agree with what you said, Benton, and you went rosy, right? You went cherries and rosy with it.
Yeah.
Let me go. It's not scorch earth, but let me go Terminator with it.
Yeah.
Even if you lose at next week, even if next week on BallChat we're talking about Arsenal losing to Man City, you are still up by 3 points.
Yes. And then Man
So
City
it's
has the
not the
Burnley
end of
game
the
in the
world.
middle
You're
of the
still
week.
up by 3 points.
Yeah.
So you have room. You just cannot lose 2 more games over the season, rest of the season. Even though that one game that they have in hand, Man City has in hand, if they win that one game, then it's still tied. So technically, they're not won't be ahead by 3 points.
You have nothing to play with, right?
Yeah, so they really have.
And ultimately, you can capitalize on Man City's hunt and search for a victory. You can use that to your advantage next week. This is where Mikel Arteta and BM says if Arteta cannot win the Premier League, I think the owners will show him the door. It's do or die for him. It's do or die. I mean, I can't bother with the side there, brother. All right, on to other more interesting and exciting news in the Premier League. Relegation battle, Junior. Let's go over this, because every year we forward with the same thing with Arsenal. Like, is it this year? Is it this year? We can't bother with that over this.
Why, Patrice Evra clout them with a Netflix series, and it stick.
Yo, no boy who want to eat chicken foot. What was that video with him? What was the chicken? What was the video with Patrick Vieira? I saw tours. No boy who I saw tour can diss the Gunners. Wasn't there a video about that with Vevra? All right, we'll leave that. Not a relegation battle. Junior, 4-0 West Ham. Let's start run through the teams. West Ham defeated Wolves 4-0. Hey, they're out of the relegation zone for now. Junior,
all right.
Junior is trying to get himself together.
No, the thing with West Ham is, after all that, after winning so convincingly, after feeling so well, it can all come crashing back down in a week. So it's exciting times. Nottingham Forest drew. No, the irony is we might have a fourth team joining this relegation fight,
Yes.
in Leeds.
Yes, I mean, I expect Manchester United supposed to fix up Leeds tomorrow.
Supposed to, but this is a rivalry game, and this kind of goes. This for all those who didn't know, Leeds is actually Manchester United's main rival. It's not Man City, it's not Arsenal, it's not Liverpool. Leeds is my team's main rival, and this kind of goes with what Pep Guardiola spoke about earlier. Man U hasn't played in about 2 weeks, so Leeds have a legitimate chance of going into this game and coming out with something. But if they don't come out with something, a fourth team has entered the relegation battle. For sentimental reasons, I want West Ham to survive. No,
bad mind a certain side. Never talk about sentimental reason.
I don't like Nottingham
bad mind
Forest.
the big belly man side.
It's not bad mind. I just don't like them. Bad mind is I'm going to sit here and lie to you.
What did Chris Woods do to you? Is it Chris Woods? Same name?
Who?
Forest. Chris Wood. Forest striker. Why would you want him relegated? What did Hudson Odoi do to you?
Well, Chris Wood is a relegation striker. So go back to where you belong, brother. I know what? You're right. The players, I'm not wishing. If I have to pick one of the teams, I would pick Nottingham Forest first to get relegated. Then I would pick Tottenham. And then but I want West Ham to stay up. I want West Ham to stay up. Now, West Ham's only crime is trying to better themselves too quickly. That's their only crime. If
their
West
only
Ham
crime is that their owners have, how many times have West Ham's owners made piss poor decisions regarding coaching? I mean, at some point he's going to catch up to you. Now, granted, they have a guy who's stable the ship, but this might be a little bit too heavy a lift for even Nuno.
Possibly, but then when you ask a key question, how many times have West Ham owners basically messed up in coaching, right? So you have the metric system. I'm going to introduce now the BCN Sports system of measurement. So like for Barcelona, we have pre-lever, that's PL. They have DL during the lever and AL after levers, right? We have that. So when you ask how many times, I'm going to count those times in Nottingham Forest. So West Ham did it probably two. It took two Nottingham Forest for West Ham to finally get the coaching decisions right.
Okay, but I don't even know if they've gotten it right because they still might get relegated.
Well, but the ship has been stabilized. So even if the ship is sinking, when like sometimes the ship has sink and then it go this and then it go that and it start rock and then it broke off, at least we see it sinking with some stability going down now. So now can they get enough water and get some buoyancy back? Time will tell. Right?
I fundamentally believe that Nuno is not a championship coach. There's no way Nuno should go down with West Ham. If West Ham is relegated, then Nuno should move on and find a top tier club because speaking of relegation battle, Forest drew with Aston Villa 1-1. Both teams played in the Europa League. This is also something that's even more perplexing. Forest trying to stay in the Premier League and is in the Europa League quarterfinal. Forest played against Porto on Thursday. Aston Villa defeated Bologna. The impact of these Europa League games on the relegation battle, because they will have the return leg coming up this coming Thursday, right?
Yeah, the impact is huge. The impact is huge, and Nottingham Forest owner is daft enough to think that they can stay legitimate in all competitions when common sense said they need to prioritize the Premier League.
So
we'll see.
they host Porto on Thursday, Nottingham Forest that is, and then they host Burnley on Sunday. Now, if Burnley really wants to say, you know what, I really want to just screw everybody else, I'll just go ahead and just beat this team.
Well, they can try.
I mean, they would have been rested.
Yeah.
And why not become the Wolverhampton going down and fight? Is Burnley officially out of the relegation?
If they're what?
Is Burnley officially relegated?
Them dead.
All right. But
What kind of question
you're
that?
not going down without a fight. Burnley will not go down without. BM asks about the other team that's sitting out there in this Premier League relegation zone. Junior, your favorite club with the new manager, Tottenham, suffered a 1-0 defeat today against Sunderland. Mr. Zerbi, your favorite, well, not your favorite club, your favorite manager, one of your favorite managers. He started off just like his predecessor, Tudor, with a defeat in his opening.
Yeah, but the goalkeeper named Kinski. Kinski was this close for me to say he's my baller of the week because he made some tremendous saves today. And well, you expect a goalkeeper to make the saves that he made, but looking at his very recent history, for him to recover and come back and do this, I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
And then the buck-up goal happened. One of the most luckiest goals I've ever seen in a while. And the thing what hurt the most, when one boy kick it, as soon as they took the deflection, if you look at the replay, the second the ball went in the air, Kinski was like, oh my God. All the Tottenham defenders were like this. I can't believe this is happening to us. Because they literally knew the ball was going to go. It is one of those comical goals where you see it, you be like, ain't no way. It's like the bottom of say, ain't no way we're about to give up a goal like this. They literally knew the ball was going into the goal right after deflection, 20 yards away. Which to me is just
He played well. He did his job, and I thought he was quite competent.
Yeah.
Nardi Mukelis got the goal, even though it was a huge.
He was credited for the goal, which is also funny.
Yeah.
But that should have been a one goal, but whatever.
BM says, can Tottenham possibly get relegated? I
They
think they
can.
will survive by the skin of their teeth.
But can they? Yes. No. The irony is, De Zerbi plays his old team on Saturday.
All right, so let's look at the run. Tottenham last won a game in the Premier League 105 days ago.
Right.
Let's repeat that. 105 days ago. Was it? We
Over
looked
three
at it
months ago.
recently, right? December 28th. What can Deserby do today? No, to keep this team up. He spoke
All
about
right.
nerves might be affecting these players. He spoke about the mentality might be affecting. Couple that with an potential injury to his soldier, Cristiano Romero.
Romero. Yeah. So every team, the argument for every team is different because I'm going to sound contradictive now.
Yeah, which is
Because
not
I said
unusual,
earlier,
Junior. We are walking
well,
contradictions.
because we're talking about different teams. The beauty about BCN, we talk about all teams. We don't stick to one team. So Chelsea's trajectory will be different than Tottenham's trajectory. We talked about Chelsea and we talked about what does Russell here need to do to steady the ship or make things right. My answer was time. He needs time. He needs training. He needs this, needs all of that, right? It's not the same for Tottenham. Why? Because Tottenham, if we remember clearly, the reason why they are where they are right now is because for some reason they had a system that they implemented that they were just sifting goals. They were just giving up stupid goals. They were trying to play out of the back, causing mistakes and all kind of foolishness. The difference in the game today, they were a little bit more direct. Kinski never play around with the ball at his feet. They did try to play the ball out of the back one and two times, but when things get tight, the man say, you know what? Long ball. So those little changes, coupled with luck, can work in their favor. Now, I
They
think
went a bit more
Deserby,
direct today in the first game.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
but I think Deserby now,
So to squeeze
yeah,
that a little bit further. Is that some great discovery by De Zerbi?
no, that's desperation.
I mean that Sean Dyche ball. Send it long and
Not even Sean Dyche. That is
Sam
Sam
Allardyce.
Allardyce ball.
Sam
That's
Allardyce,
Sam
yeah.
Allardyce ball.
Yeah.
So it is. We're going to get organized. We're going to be hard to score against. We're going to send the ball along. We'll try to create as much chances as we can. Put as much crosses in the box, which they did, and they were unfortunate to not get a penalty. Which, fair enough, it's the right call.
Yeah, man, a penalty,
However,
man. The man slide and then turn his knees or legs away from hitting the player. He did
so,
slide.
so you think it's not a penalty?
Nah, man, no penalty.
All right, cool. But the referee called a penalty.
Yeah.
And VAR is implemented to fix clear and obvious errors. And I don't think that was clear and
You
obvious.
don't think that was
You
clear?
could interpret it that it was a penalty. But that being said, they played that style. Now, when you look at them schedule coming up, and you put that them schedule is daunting. Is very daunting. And how
Hey,
many points? You know what?
how many
I think we
points do
should.
they get from here? How many points do they need?
That is the question. How many points do they need? I think. How many games left? 6?
All right, I have the schedule up here. They have Brighton on April 18th. They host Brighton. Then they travel to Wolves on April 25th. May 2nd, they travel to Villa. May 11th, they host Leeds. May 17th, they travel to Chelsea. And they round out the season hosting Everton.
All right. So for all of that, I'm looking at their history and all the teams in the relegation fight history. I think You get to 37 points, you're safe. I think 37 points is safety.
All right, so all right, let's look at last season. What was safety? Safety was 20 wait, 38
Yeah,
points.
let's not look at last season.
Wait, yo, Tottenham. Yo, so all right. You know what? Relegate them now. Last year they finished 18th, and this year they fouled with the same foolishness again. You know what? Relegate them now. Come on, 38 points. So Tottenham trying to get to 38 points again to be safe.
Yeah, all right. So 38 points is a good number. I think 38 points is a good number.
Yo, some teams, if you get kicked out of the Premier League, you can't just come and make up numbers every year, brother. You're not win no trophy. You're not compete for title. The ironic thing about all of this, wasn't it, 5 years ago? This team was considered part of the Super League, the so-called Big Six in the Super League. The European Super League was being formed.
Yo, and they play Champions League this year. But 38 points. So they need 5 more points.
Well, Junior, they need 8 more points. They're sitting on 30 now.
Rotted. All right. So where do they get 8 points?
Where do they get 8 points from?
I think they beat Wolves.
I don't think they beat Wolves.
You're
They're
crazy.
going to
They beat
Wolverhampton.
They're beating Wolves.
I don't think they beat Wolves. I think Wolves is hell bent on upsetting as many people. Wolves, I think Wolves is like this. If I'm going down, I'm gonna bring you down with me. I think that is Wolves'
right.
mantra.
All right, so they're going to draw with Wolves.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
think they
if Wolves
beat Brighton. They beat Brighton. They beat Leeds. So that's 7 points.
I think
and
they
they draw
beat
with
Everton
Everton.
on the final day.
They draw with Everton on the final day.
That game against Everton, final match there. Nothing. Everton won't have anything to play for. On that.
Actually, they
Potential.
would. They could make it to Conference League.
Okay, well then that's gonna be a problem then. If Everton has something to play for on the final match there, then that's a problem.
And you know, Everton is a win away from being sixth if other results go their way.
Yeah, but is equally a man said Chelsea's like a way closer to 11 than Champions League spot.
Right. Which yes.
All right, let's wrap up our EPL roundup and run through some other results, family. In the English this weekend's action of the English Premier League, Liverpool defeated Fulham 2-0. Junior, much needed victory for coach the slot man himself, Aaron Slot, and Liverpool.
Yeah, but it kind of feel like a stay of execution. This week there's so much compelling games out there, right? They play PSG this week, but you're going to lose. They're going to host PSG and lose.
I actually, after further consideration, I'm not gonna just dismiss Liverpool against PSG.
No, you can't do that on your own. Anyway, they're gonna lose to PSG, and then they travel to Everton for the Merseyside derby.
Yep, Merseyside derby.
And the hate that is between those teams, Everton will be juiced up, and Everton can win this game. If Everton wins this game, Benton, you do realize that Everton will be only 2 points behind Liverpool in the table. This is a recipe for disaster for Arne Slot.
Yep.
It's a recipe for disaster. Because if it's one person that can coach in these kind of games, it is David Moyes.
It's David Moyes, yep.
So, yeah, we'll see. This is a very trying week coming up for Liverpool. because the fans can possibly be outclassed or witness them team get outclassed at home by a much better Luis Enrique PSG team, and then to turn around, travel for the Merseyside Derby. If Liverpool lose both games and lose one of them heavily, I think Arne Slot might be gone.
I think
I think Arne Slot could be gone.
I think Aaron Slot Al Goose already cook. I think him already.
Possibly as well.
I think him already. Running through the results from this weekend's EPL action: West Ham 4-0 over Wolves, Bournemouth 2-1 over Arsenal, Brentford and Everton 2-2, Brighton 2-0 over Burnley, Liverpool 2-0 over Fulham, Crystal Palace 2-1 over Newcastle, Sunderland of course defeated Tottenham 1-0, Villa and Forest drew 1-1, and Man City beat Chelsea 3-0.
No, let's smash them. Let's smash them.
Junior's word, not mine. Chelsea fans, send your hate mail over there, sir. Man United versus Leeds rounds out the round tomorrow. Any final thoughts on the Premier League and the table?
No, let's just see how them play out to the end.
You know, Arsenal on top, 70 points, 6 ahead of Man City. Tottenham, Burnley, Wolves in the bottom half, the relegation zone. BM says Forest may survive. That means Omari Hutchinson won't run to Jamaica. Rudolph Spee.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the Champions League preview. Coming up, Champions League games coming up this week. Junior, big games, big football games. Atletico Madrid versus Football Club Barcelona. I think Football Club Barcelona made a statement this weekend. Hansi Flick unleashed the dogs and they dismiss Espanyol. Will it be enough against Atletico Madrid to overturn this 2-0 tie? As Cholo rested his entire group of players for this coming Barcelona game. And the game is going to be
so unpredictable. This game will be so unpredictable.
The Metropolitan.
We just have to watch it. I was going to sit down and watch it. I'm going to wait. I'm curious to see how the first 10 minutes go, the first 15 minutes go, and we'll see how long Barcelona take to score. That's all I'm watching for. and I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm picking Atletico Madrid to win the Champions League.
I'm not going to pick Atletico Madrid to win the Champions League yet. Let's go through this process by process, round by round. We'll get to the final, then I'll pick. But I'm picking Atletico Madrid to beat this Barcelona team. Barcelona fans, Barcelona is not ready. This is not Champions League sort of quality that Barcelona, they're missing a few of the big pieces to really kind of overturn this deficit, especially at the Wanda or at the Metropolitano. Now, with that being said, if Lamine Yamal really want throw to the world saying he's the next coming, like some people have been hyping him up, then here it is. Here's an opportunity, a golden opportunity to not only ball aside, but take this team to a victory.
How many times are we going to give him a chance, though? I said just try your best, young man.
It says probably a robot special might reach him.
Yeah, just try your best, young man.
Just try your best. So Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Atletico leading the tie 2-0. Equally, Liverpool is down 2-0 to PSG Tuesday at 3 p.m. Junior, I mean, this is almost somewhat too good to be true. I think in the sense of how overwhelming PSG is a favorite, and just looking at the form of these teams, and there's something about this team that has this game that has me a little bit perplexed. And with that being said, if I was a betting man, I would have probably put $2 on Liverpool to pull off an upset.
You can't. That $2 would be a good try because at some point,
not $5, $2.
Yeah, that's why I said 2,000 people would say that's a good try because at some point Liverpool will show up. At some point, the Liverpool of last year must show up. At some point, Florian Wirtz, if he get game, will prove their confidence in him right. At some point, it's impossible. It's virtually impossible for Liverpool to go a whole season and not one of those things happen right for them. They don't have a game where you say, wow, this reminds me of old time Liverpool and honest that maybe can do it. And you're right. Why not? Why not them? Why not no? So good luck to them. But I'm not picking them to do that.
I'm not even gonna pick on the Florian Wirtz thing. I just think that the atmosphere at Anfield, PSG is a big side. But even though PSG is the defending champions of the Champions League, there's just something about this PSG team that don't give me comfort sometimes. And it's almost like they're careless, they can be nonchalant, they can be reckless, and they can be idiotic in sometimes in the decision making. And that could lead to, Liverpool capitalizing on the road. So, but PSG overwhelming favorite to win this football game because they are a talented football team. Talented football team. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid 2-1. There I saw a meme or something out there where some Real Madrid players waving off Kylian Mbappe Jr. Is Kylian Mbappe a liability for this Real Madrid team?
I won't
And
go
and
down that
Donald,
road
big
with
up
it.
to Donald, one of the funniest Nigerians we know. Took it up on himself to post that. Hey, everybody was saying bringing back Kylian Mbappe. Let's get him back after injuries. Kylian Mbappe returned and Real Madrid form has since plummeted.
Yeah.
Is there anything to read into that? It's just coincidental.
It's coincidental, but I won't entertain that conversation with it about is Kylian Mbappe a liability. What I would say though is the same sinking feeling you have about PSG is the same feeling I have about Bayern. And Real Madrid going to Bayern Munich at some point, the real Real Madrid that we've seen over the last couple of years will pop up. And this is the perfect opportunity for them to pop up. So I agree with you about the PSG, but there's that little sinking feeling about them. I have the same feeling about Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich better be very careful in this game because they were wasteful in the first leg, and after all of that, they only have a one goal lead. And with no Kylian Mbappe, regardless of if people want to think he's a liability, Mbappe can win a game on his own. So Bayern better be very careful this game. With that being said, though, I think Bayern will take it. I don't think Real Madrid. I don't think this is their year to do anything. But I will sound the warning for them. Be very careful this game. This is one of those tricky games.
And I agree with the Kylian Mbappe assessment. There's some players you just have to find a way to maximize their return, and he's such a talented player. And you know what? Kylian Mbappe, how about this? How about you tell all of us who question your inclusion in this Real Madrid team? Just go out and tell us shut the hell up by performing or delivering something special for the Madridista on Wednesday. So Wednesday at 3 p.m. Big game. I wish I could do a watch along, but unfortunately some of us have to work. Quarterfinal game, Arsenal versus Sporting 1-0. Arsenal is overwhelming favorite in this game. Junior, do you give Sporting any chance in this game?
Yeah, because I would even say I give Sporting a chance. I give Arsenal a chance to mess it up.
Yeah.
Arsenal has a chance to fail. And that's where I leave it. They can possibly fail in this game.
Yeah, yeah. Arsenal versus Sporting Wednesday also at 3 p.m. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Barca versus Atletico Madrid Tuesday 3 p.m. And the final game is Liverpool versus PSG. Big ball games. Champion football, Junior. Business end of the Champions League season. Business end. All right, let's step over to Yardballer's report and take a look at Jamaican football news, family. First, starting out with the reggae girls. Now go reggae boys. We get over this or sometime. Rudolph. Talk about Rudolph Speed. Yo, Hubert Busby says that after the reggae girls' 4-0 victory over Antigua Barbuda, he says basically, one of the things that he said was that, Bunny Shaw is the best striker in the world. And their objective is to get the best striker in the world in the most advanced and the most favorable positions to score goals. Junior, talk to me. Do you agree with that?
What?
First, I think we have already done that assessment. We have said that Bunny Shaw is probably the best 9 in women's football right now. But the coach is heavily banking on building this offense around getting Bunny Shaw the ball in the final third.
Yeah, I well said, coach. Okay, but then how do we achieve that?
How do we achieve that? By utilizing the wingers to supply crosses. He spoke about Den getting more involved, Kiki Van Zandt and others trying to supply. I'm not a one-man or one-woman side, I'm not a one-man or one-woman side. Me not it either. I do value that when Bunny Shaw is on the field, the offense kind of flows through her and try to find her at the tip of the spear. But what I do want to highlight emphatically for Reggae Girls fans of the Reggae Girls, is that there are teams out there who is not going to stand around and let Bunny Shaw dictate to them. There are teams out there who will say, yo, okay, Bunny, we want to see they find you in favorable position. We're going to move you out of that. There are center backs that have done that, and there will be center backs who will be hell-bent on doing that. And Bunny Shaw is a player who gets frustrated pretty easily based on her demonstration or body language in not only Antigua game, but other games we have seen. And I'm very concerned about a strategy just to try to get the ball to Bunny.
Okay.
I said a lot there. So
no, but the thing is this. You're right. You don't believe nobody should believe in a one-man side or a one-player side, right? But you have your best player. You should have a best player. You should have a focal point. That's two different approaches, though. And this is where we're either going to give Busby credit or we're going to unfairly criticize him. And you decide which one we're going to do. Because if I'm going to give him credit, if I'm going to give Coach Busby credit, he's highlighting and recognizing that his best player is Khadija Bunny Shaw. But he also wants to build a team around her. That's completely different than let's get Bunny Shaw the ball and get out the way. Let's try to create as much chances of Bunny Shaw and get. It's two different approaches. Now, somebody might be listening to this and say, which idiot coach would ever pick the second option? You'll be surprised. You will be surprised how many idiot coaches out there that do that. While sensible coaches will say, I know Bunny Shaw is my best player, but I want to develop the players around her so that they all can be successful at the same time. I am going to hope that's what Mr. Busby Jr. meant. And I'm going to give you a case in point. 1986 Argentina. Was that a one-man team, Benton?
you have one general and,
Yeah,
and
but
10 supporting cast.
But it wasn't a one-man team.
Who were quite valuable. Valderrama was huge for. There's no World Cup 86 World Cup title without Valderrama. In that
Valderrama?
Not Valderrama.
Passarella.
Not Passarella, man. In fact, let me.
Not Passarella?
Colombian. Let me go back to the Argentina side. The guy who continue your point. Argentina
Pompidou?
1986 squad. Not Passarella.
Tapia?
Let me go back to the squad. Was it Valdano? Jorge
No.
Valdano.
Jorge Valdano was a baller.
Valdano.
Yes.
Because he was the center forward and he held up play pretty well. Held up play pretty well. And that allows some of the people to pull off Maradona. Now, granted, them to pull off him all the time. But I think that there wouldn't have been a World Cup title without Valdano.
Right.
Because he went unnoticed. Now, Burachaga, Ruggieri and all those other players, Luis Brown. I mean, yeah, you have one general, one king, and you have 11.
But when you look at Argentina 86, everybody said we have to stop that little number 10 there.
Yes.
But then they have a lot of poisonous players around them.
Yeah.
That is what we hope Jamaica build. We already have the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Now we have to build the pieces around them. Now I have to be that guy though. It is cute to say that. It is so cute to say, oh, we got to build around Khadija Buddy Shaw. We got to get the balls. We got to get her the balls and blah, 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 right? Did Jamaica play towards that mindset in their game? Do you think they played towards that mindset? That's a rhetorical question. I'll answer. I'll give you my answer. They did not play towards that team concept. They played very individualistic football, especially in the first half. So it's one thing to say it, but I want to see action behind it. And that's all I'm going to say about them.
All right. Let me choose words carefully here. Room for improvement. I'm going to take that stance. Busby is winning football games, but ultimately the big measurement is right. They will beat Guyana this coming week. We'll do a watch along. Reggae Girls will play Guyana this coming Saturday, actually. But the big test is in the CONCACAF W Championship, right? And ultimately the teams around the Reggae Girls, those teams around 3-4 in CONCACAF, they are getting better. And they are improving, and they're playing team football if you watch them. The Costa Ricas of the world, the Mexicos of the world, they're playing team football. And I'm always worried that if you have a one-man or one-woman team, and if that person gets shut down, then that negates and pretty much is just a one-trick pony. And negate the whole plan, everything get dashed right. And as you said, any sensible coach won't just put his or her eggs in one basket.
Right.
Because not like you don't have the talent. You have talented players who can provide that level of support. Kiki Van Zanten comes to mind. Solai Washington, players that we have seen excel and players who have scored goals not only at the professional level in the ranks. But I don't want to pressure the coach or the Reggae Girls. I don't want to pressure the Reggae Girls too tough because they're doing something because that the Reggae Girls is not doing. Now, granted, them to reach World Cup yet, but they are winning football games. And that's all I can ask them. They're finding ways to win football games. It may not be the prettiest thing. I think in this camp, in this reasoning, under this tent, there is room for all sort of views regarding the Reggae Girls. Those who want it to be better, quite frankly, the coaches and the players should want it to be better. But also in the same vein, we can recognize that, we are winning games. But cut out the pluckery and keep improving.
So BM says, I'm nervous with Busby as coach going into the quarterfinals. If we lose the quarterfinal, we have to play to qualify for the playoffs. Busby isn't a good coach. His plan is to get the ball to Buddy Shaw, and that's it. Speaking of body language, that's something Buddy should work on, especially being the captain of the team. It's not a good look.
Yeah, and I know we have Bunny fans out there, and hopefully some of them can send her this message. There's nothing wrong with recognizing that there are areas we need for improvement. I don't think Bunny should be wearing the captain's armband. Lon Donaldson said it best. They are captains and they are on-field generals. And I
Yeah.
think that the Reggae Girls need an on-field general. And you're not looking to punish with the throwing on the shoulder, the dropping on the shoulder, the frustration setting in, especially against teams that play low block. You need your captain to essentially be that level of strength that's supposed to, yo, let's ride again. Come on, Rents, go. Let's keep riding. Let's keep doing what we need to do, rather than dropping our shoulder. And the vulnerabilities is that when you have that sort of situation where you have a captain dropping our shoulder, then foolishness starts to set in. And then there's a recipe for disaster. So, but the politics of picking captains, not only to the Reggae Girls, I didn't think Messi was supposed to be captain of Barcelona either. So I'll leave that over there. So, Lauren Donaldson, for example, had yeah. I wonder what Lauren up to today. Lauren Donaldson, for example, had a system of play that suited the players. Even during the Panama game when Bonnie got suspended, we outplayed Panama and beat them. Did you see how she treated the 14-year-old player from Antigua after the game? That was very disappointing to me. I did not see that.
I didn't see it either. I'm curious to know watching it.
BM, what happened? What transpired?
Obviously something negative, and if it is, very disappointing.
No, if it's something negative, she disrespected her. Let me leave it. Drop that in the chat or a link so we can pull that up.
Remember, this is the same player that
yes,
in a different circumstances as well. 'Cause at least in this circumstance, she won.
Yes.
This is a player in a different circumstances.
Yes.
The best footballer in the world at the time, Marta, gave her words of encouragement when Jamaica knocked out Brazil. I really, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. Because
no, but if it's something like that, then of course we have to haul her to task because that is foolishness.
I will not. You know what?
I don't care what. I will do it. You don't have to do it. Let's see if BM dropped the thing.
On the dirty Jamaican fans.
Come on, Junior.
The 50 Jamaican fans that turned up at the stadium and has a problem with us criticizing the lack of support.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Here we go.
Listen to me, man. Listen to me.
Those are the views of Junior, not BCN Sports.
It's the views of everybody in the diaspora. Because that is the reason why the stadium is full. Because we are now creating this bubble of we against the world. And the we being Reggae Girls fans, and the world being Jamaicans that are not quick to jump on the bandwagon. And there's a vibe like that is brewing. I remember Junior said it. Remember Junior, and I'm not cutting this out and putting it on any shot or anything. So we're not looking for the clickbait or nothing. But remember Junior said this. There is a kind of a click or there's a kind of a mindset brewing that I am noticing where within the Jamaican fan base, you have a set of people that is saying they own the Reggae Girls and people have to basically join them like it's a cult. We'll move on. Go for you, man.
BM says the Antigua players obviously admire her. She was behaving as in Bonisha. She was behaving like she's better than them. The player, as in the 14-year-old player, went over to shake her hand and she pushed her hand away. And BM never lead us wrong, so we just go up on BM's history of credible reporting. And bun that. Bug of the week for Bonisha. Bug of the week. I mean, not care. Bug of the week. Judah, if you can find that video, bug of the week. Can't come go like say your shit make party around here. I'm sorry, it's Sunday. Should not say that. But bug of the week. Bug of the BBC week. But then you sit down there, turn up with, take advice from, as you highlighted, the general herself, Martha, eh? And if that occurred, and then some of the fans that might run out and say, well, we don't know what happened in the game and rare. I don't care. The game done. And I want to say big up to Astel, Joseph, and Antigua. Good luck because they have some young players. Keep building your players. Keep growing. Keep building the thing. But if Bonnie Shaw did that to the Antiguan player, yo, move up. Move up! Bug of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's even make it worse. Yo, hey, we need one next striker to lead the point there, huh, man.
We'll find that video though, cause
yeah, we're gonna try and find the video. We're gonna see if anyone have a video of it and link our sources. Well, link our sources and find it. And you can't have them things there if that is true. You can't have them things there from a captain, and especially a player who is a trendsetter in the women's game in the Caribbean. And you want people to support that? No, sir. All right. Yard ballers report continuing. So Reggae Girls will play Guyana. Junior is awfully quiet over there. We're looking for the video if he can find it. As BM highlighted that Bonnie Shaw was a bit unfriendly to the Antiguan players at the end of the game. So if we have a video, we'll post it. And if it's true, we'll say bug of the week for Bonnie Shaw. Go and go sit down.
Yeah.
Go and go sit down. All right, over to the Jamaican Premier League. Yo, things heating up over in Jamaican Premier League. Scores update. Yo, Chapelton got fixed up by Cavalier. Rudolph Speed. Say, yo, brother, you know in my league. I wonder what bullet I said now.
What was the score?
4-1, Junior.
Lord of mercy.
4-1. Chapelton 4-1 over Cavalier 4-1 over Chapelton. Harborview 2-1 over Treasure Beach. Portmore 1-0 over Mullines. Montego Bay United 6-0 over Spanish Town Police, Junior.
Why is it wow? The Spanish Town Police is being
appoint a new coach, Mr. Wollery Wolf.
That's like them third coach of the year. They're like Nottingham Forest.
Or Tottenham.
I was going to say Tottenham, but
Spanish Town Spanish Town Police to get a new coach bounce.
Well, it look like them get the balls, but the balls go the other direction.
Mount Pleasant suffered a 1-0 defeat to Tivoli, and Waterhouse 1-0 over Racing United. So let's look at the fixtures. Let's look at the lay of the land in the standing. Montego Bay United leads with 65 points. Malines and Spanish Town Police. Yo, look like them teams will be relegated. Malines, this might be the year something reach Malines in the relegation.
Well, your team has fought a gallant battle constantly, but at some point their bones will get brittle, and the fight will have to be rested.
Yeah, at some point you can't flirt with relegation every year and come in a league and make up numbers. Go on a yard. You know what? I have no sympathy for no side who will come up every year just really make up numbers. No man, go on a yard.
Well, damn.
Go on a yard. All right, other Jamaican football report. News, Junior, coming out of in the Gleaner today. Verdict almost in is the lead story from Robert Bailey. Big up Robert, doing some good work. Robert Bailey says, they expect the report as his sources expect a decision April 19th regarding the coaching staff of the Reggae Boys. Of course, it's highly touted that Speed and Coley will continue in the role.
We also heard that a rumor that there could be some significant changes in the hierarchy of the GFF. Rumor has it.
Yeah, rumor has it. I guess no relegation for half of you. Good job, Lenny. Yes, Lenny. Lenworth, Teacher Hyde, find the key. Some coaches are coach, man. Lenny's one of those guys. Mike Ricketts says Jeff Boss has made it clear that the Federation has no intention of looking overseas for a coach. He says, I can't answer that because that's a board decision and the board meets on April 19. The technical committee will make recommendations and the board will ratify it. And so the rumor is that the recommendation was made by the technical committee to hire Speed and Coley. Is this a technical committee that wants Speed? That Speed once chaired. Now he's on a sabbatical, I guess.
Well, I think he said that he's done. He doesn't want the job back.
Yeah, he doesn't want the job. But I mean, he's not gonna return as technical committee, but he's still a board director. You know. BM says bug of the week to Coley. What do you mean bug of the week? What am I get bug of the week for?
Yeah, so that interview that he had, yeah, you know what? We'll save that to Wednesday.
Yes, I mean I listened to the interview. What about the interview? He was on Class FM. Class Jamaica with Zidane. Who are the hosts? Zidane and who?
I don't know.
What was the problem in the interview?
BM tell you.
BM, what was the problem with Coley's interview? I mean, I think he was quite measured in his response. BM says they allegedly can't pay an overseas coach. Yeah, you can't. You don't need to pay an overseas coach. You're not going to World Cup.
There's no value there.
Yeah, no. Waiting to see if why BM is giving Coley a bug of the week before we take over himself. Any updates, any last update on any Jamaican football players who want to highlight for me?
None right now.
Let's see what BM says. Nothing from BM. Remember to smash the like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscription bell and turn on the notification bell. This is it. Me have to go try find this Bunny Shaw video or whatever. Alright. Reach out to the sources. Jamaican Premier League news update. Junior, what was the score this weekend in Jamaican Women's Premier League?
We asking?
Yeah, I mean scores. Let's get through the Jamaican Women's Premier League scores real quick.
I'll tell you that second. Hold on.
I have it right here, sir. Wi-Fi United defeated Proven 1-0. Arnett 5-2 over Real Mona. Cavaliers defeated UWI 2-1. I did watch a piece of that Cavalier versus UWI game. For some reason, Fraser's whip and Lost Perfecta's game, I don't know. No score is up. Mile Gully and Springers United was suspended or didn't play. And Federal United FC defeated Real Mobius 3-1. Women's Premier League scores.
Let's see if they're checking the Instagram to see.
All right, this is it for today's show, family.
Yep.
Hopefully you have a wonderful week. And, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Wednesday, again, we'll do a recap of the Champions League. Here is BM. BM says, based on the interview, he's clearly not comfortable with being Speed's assistant. Okay, I'm not sure why he put himself in that position in the first place. Okay.
That's what you got from the interview?
You know what?
Okay.
I could gather some of that. Actually, you know what? Before we even go back over this. So let me return to Jamaica's Women's Premier League. Match day 7 next weekend. Proven Girls FC will take on Real Mona. Wi-Fi United will take on Cavalier. Arnets will take on UWY. Los Perfectors versus Mile Gully. Fraser's Whip Federal United and Springers United versus Real Mobile. April 18th, games kick off at 3:30 p.m. Support the Women's Premier League. Support them. They might try them, I think. Regarding this interview, he was quite measured in some of his answers, and I like his demeanor. I've always felt like he was always a coach when you interview him not really try to give it nothing, and I respect coaches like that. They try to keep their cards to their chest. I did think something stood out though. He says that he's probably was, maybe some would probably read into it like scolding or maybe correcting the interviewers, because the interviewers were leaning on his JC success, and he wanted to set the record. Like, look, I've achieved and I've done more things since JC. I've coached in different leagues. I've coached with Winifred Schaefer. We defeated Chile, and yet there's always putting him in this box about this JC success. And I think I took away that he sounded a bit annoyed with that line of questioning, like he was being put in that box. And I respect him and I admire him for that, because schoolboy football, that foolishness, that man. The man has achieved. His CV is quite impressive when you look at his CV. So
Yet you laugh at Speed for saying the same thing.
I'm not.
My takeaway from the interview is that Coley's in lockstep with Speed.
Yeah.
And whatever good that might be, I didn't get the measured vibe from him. I get that the interviewers are on a need to know basis.
Okay.
And there are things that it also felt like there was an off the record conversation as well.
Yeah, before they even talk.
It felt like there's more being said without being said. Kind of like how me and you would tease some things that we know, but we say we're not going to say it on the show, but we kind of play around it and just poke fun around it. They were doing that. I got that vibe as well. I got the vibe like I don't think he was perturbed by them, but I think his measured approach was more one of, I gotta make sure you don't catch me, kind of a vibe. And I think he and Rudolph Speed has a plan. And is it a good plan? I don't know, but I think there's a plan there. I think they want to reverse the approach to Jamaican football.
Okay.
And I think that's why the interviewers kind of leaned heavily into his high school, into his on the island success, because they probably were talking about local football and trying to get local football up to snuff. That's the vibe. That's just the vibe I got. Pieces that I heard, but we'll see.
Yeah, I circle back to the original question I think I asked a few months ago. If Miguel Coley is as advertised, why not? Why not go get him? Why not make him the man in charge and give him the reins to build something for this team?
Well, my question to your question is, does he want the job?
He was asked about stuff, and he's out. I think he alluded. He says, when it's come to help Jamaica, and he's that sort of person.
Is that a yes or a no that he wants the job?
I think for the right price, he will take the job. You don't
okay.
think so?
No, I think some people are great coaches, but they are not great CEOs.
Okay.
Miguel sound like, Miguel kind of, he comes off to me like a younger, modern Wendell does. A career assistant, which is not a bad thing.
And it's not a
It's
good
not.
thing either, especially for people who have ambitions.
No, but it is not fair for you to judge a next man's ambition. A
This
man's
is
ambition
true.
is a
This is
man's
true.
ambition.
This is true.
So if he prefers dealing with players on a one-to-one basis and not dealing with the admin side of things, then he's in his right space,
And
and that could be it.
and for context purpose, as arena man, arena fan, and one who saw Wendell Downs coach Reno up close and personal, I had higher expectations for Wendell Downswell, the Reno coach that I saw, especially the amount of experiences and exposure that he got over the years and experiences that he garnered through, whether it was at Bolton, because remember when Bibi went to Bolton, he also joined the coaching staff at Sam Allardyce, and
Yeah.
and I felt like, I don't know what happened, but I felt like somewhere along the line he's either ran into a wall or a plateau. He's done quite well for youth football, for the young players, but watching him tactically coaching big men, grown adults at Reno. Now, of course, that team that he built with the help of Ben Williams and others, I felt like Wendell Downswell was gonna be something really special for Jamaican football for a long time.
And he has proven to be, because of the recent success of the under 17 boys.
Yes.
So-
Hey, well,
so-
my Bridget, who actually, sorry, go ahead.
So because I don't want people to think so we're disrespected, but I know you are not disrespecting it.
Yeah,
but I
it's
want to make sure we have the
important.
context
Yeah.
straight that you would have loved to see him at the highest
Yes,
level, because you
yes.
think he has that pedigree.
Yes.
He might think that where he is exactly where he wants to be.
Yes.
And neither is wrong, neither is right.
Yes.
We're just happy to say he's happy.
Yes, and
Does
and,
it come
and
out as-
it's important to point out that I cannot make a determination what is good for an individual. Wendell Downswell
Right.
will make those metrics or those determinations for himself. So I in life you adjust accordingly. You see certain skill sets, and you think that certain people are going to reach. But Downswell has done quite well for himself. BM says Coley has a UEFA Pro license. My question is, why not demand a head coach job? He's more qualified than all the coaches in Jamaica, Junior. He has a UEFA Pro license. Why not demand a head coaching job?
And my answer will remain the same. Maybe he just doesn't want it.
And BM says, you really think Coley wants to be speed assistant? I think he became an assistant with some guarantees for later. I mean, if I was his
That's possible.
agent and if I'm speed, that would have been the guarantee. And not speed. If I'm Coley and if I was his agent, that's the guarantee I'm getting when I got that job for him in the interim assistant role for DR Congo. If it fails or whatever transpires, then Miguel Coley will be the head coach of the Reggae Boys. Because Speed was on record saying they really want this long term. Him say, I am here to do a job. I have 2 games to coach and that's it. Now comfortably pivot.
Yes.
The man was on record saying they want the job. He says, I am only here to do 2 games to try to qualify this team for 2 games. And then after that, you can do what you want to do. And now we might talk about, the mind game's even next level sometimes. It's not even next level. Now we might talk about him have offers from overseas, as in Speed. And he has to evaluate his options. When we all know, say, him might get the work. What the fuck's going on? Yo, them thing is just unnecessary, brother. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Alright, enough Reggae Boys. Time for go my way out.
Yeah, but later.
Time for go my way out. Have a wonderful week, family. Wednesday again, remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Wednesday again, halftime show. Big up on yourself. Have a great week. Be safe. Look more, family.